Hey guys, Julien here, back with another video, the final video of this series. We're going to be looking at the finals, me versus Tom. Before I get started, again, I want to let you guys know the masterclass is coming out next Friday. That's Friday, September 12th, and where we're going to be looking at everything Kehon Vanquisher, all the combos, all the interactions, how you want to play the deck, every little thing you can do to get better. Like literally everything you can think of and everything you can't think of will be in the masterclass. So please stay tuned for that next Friday. I also want to let you guys know, like, the masterclass, I see people always say this when they release product, and I totally agree. Like, if you just play Yu-Gi-Oh like casually, like you just watch Yu-Gi-Oh or anything and you don't really go to tournaments, like don't get the masterclass. Like, this is really for people that want to get better. I want to push that. Like, don't like put money towards something that you're not going to use. But if you're like taking Yu-Gi-Oh seriously, you're going to YCSs, you're going to all these tournaments. This is how you win those tournaments. This is how you go from never topping an event to topping like every event you go to. It's just by learning these little interactions and all these things that you might not pick up by yourself, but that I can really teach you and you can learn from. So yeah. So, and also before we get into this video, I just want to say, like, this moment, like first of all, I want to thank Tom, because Tom was just such a great opponent. Like, this was like a great match, and also just this moment was electric. Like, the crowd was electric, and I was so excited during this. So I want to let you guys know that before I start reviewing this VOD. So here we have the dice roll against Tom. I win the dice roll, thankfully, because his deck is scary. I lost to him in Twist. This is a very scary deck. I did not want to go second against Liger Dancer when I play like so few hand traps in my deck, I will say. So I win the die roll, and I start with normal summon Raisin. So here, I have like some attributes in hand. I have a lot of, I have a pretty good combo in hand, I would say. So we add Holy Suit, and then I ash it, obviously. I ash the Fuelos when he Fueloses me. And he's like, oh, really, of course you have the ash, which I do. What can I say? So I make the rocks, add back Raisin, because that's the only fire in my hand. And then from here, I'm thinking of how I want to combo. So I add Case for K9 because he fooled me, right? So I'm like, well, I can just make a Ripper off Rip. I was pretty sure that he wasn't playing anything like Nibiru or anything. It was mostly going to be board breakers. But this Ripper is like super free for me to make since he activated Fuelos, and I have Case. I can just do it. Not have to worry too much about anything else. Summon the Ripper. He asked me what he knows, so I show him the Holy Suit plus the Raisin. And I forget if I have a Dark in my hand at this point, but if I don't, then this is great because I can just add it immediately off the Ripper. And now you'll see I have Holy Suit, Fire, and Dark. So I have my whole Vanquisher combo set up, which is what I do. I summon it, summon the Sue, reveal both, and summon from deck. Thinking about what I want to do. It's hard on the stream to kind of see the cards I have in hand, but pretty much here we want to, just to like Vanquisher combo without having to reveal too much from my hand, like without giving away too much. And also, oh yes, so this is what I do here is I go for a draw before deciding what to add with the start. Because I want to make sure, I'm, like, not adding a redundant card to my hand. So, and then the shuffling process always, taking a while because the judge has to do the final shuffle. So I draw a card. Don't remember exactly what the card was, but, we do all this. So I still haven't used the start effect here just because I haven't really decided what I want to add here. The pressure during this is like crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Like the stress. So I really don't want to mess up. This is high stakes, obviously, as everyone knows. And I just kind of do my combo in like a little bit of a weird order, I will say, but it doesn't matter too much. It doesn't change too much of the outcome. So I'm adding all the cards that I need to add. I overlay my guys for a Nash Knight. It's just kind of, again, just going to go for like the full board. The only thing that I'm missing here is like I don't have access to what I could have done is forego the Caesar and get it on the next turn. And therefore I could have made an SP here over the rocks. I have made an SP over keeping the two Vanquisher bodies, because then I just add the trap directly with Mad Love, right? So then I don't have to have 2 monsters on the field at the end of the phase, and I have just more monsters on my field, like more boss monsters. But this is not bad too. I get to have a draw during his turn at some point with the border. Fishing for something for like an Ash Blossom to play around like Book of Eclipse or other breakers, which is also good. But here, our end board is pretty good. I have great follow-up too. I didn't even have to go through Lantern. I have all these bodies. I have Masquerade on field. I have Ripper on field. I have the Quick Play spell. I have the Trap set. I have Mad Love bounce. I have Rock to add back a monster if I needed, or even Rock to special summon. So here he activates Tenki. And I'm thinking, like, honestly, I don't really ever want to just let him resolve cards just because he plays so many breakers that I don't want to let him get any cards in his hand on top of what he already has. And I also want to be able to look at his hand immediately. I know that Ripper is like a decent negate against his deck, but I might have to wait too long to do it. And because he plays so many breakers, I want like my first monster effect to be the Werewolf. Just look at his hand before anything. Don't have to like play into talents and threat super hard. So I do that and immediately he scoops, which great relief. Because again, I know like I played him in Swiss and he did like break my full board in our first game, like where I went first. And so like I knew he does play like a lot of board breakers. His deck is very resilient. So definitely not like an easy match or an easy matchup at all. And I was happy to see that, he had to scoop there because he couldn't play through it. So we're sighting. And sighting. There we go. So game 2, he goes first. My hand looks pretty good at first, but it actually really isn't all that. I have Nib, which maybe I shouldn't have brought in. I brought in the Nib because I was thinking like I need to, no matter what, not let him make Liger Dancer. So I brought in Nib, I brought in Fant, I brought in Shifter, I brought in all my hand traps, I brought in Perulia, I brought in Joel, I brought in everything. But maybe, at that cost, I took up a little too much engine, and actually here, I bricked. So, like, but yeah, so I have Fua. I remember this one. I have Fua, Nib, Shifter, Jokul, and then I actually don't remember exactly the last card, but I know it wasn't playable. So here he starts, and I decide that because I don't have playable in hand, I'm going to hold the Shifter and let him activate a card first to see if, I can, like, make him banish a card and make him completely waste a card. Just because, like, my hand isn't that strong. If my hand was strong, then I could Shifter and, like, standby to play around Talents. But also, Talents is a 1-of, so, didn't mind that too much. The other thing, too, is, like, obviously I have to Shifter and then Fua. So I just, like, wait for him to give me a card, and I could even, like, chain Shifter, chain Fua. Guarantee a draw as well as make him waste cards. So he starts with Foolish Burial Goods. Obviously I know what Foolish does. Foolish Burial Goods does, but I just want to like double check, read everything, make no stupid mistakes in the finals. I'm feeling like decent on this Shifter. I'm like, okay, here I make him waste a card again. Like I said, pretty good, but I still don't have playable. I gotta draw something. So yeah, so here he banishes this trap, which would have been like, a great line of play. Another thing about him starting Foolish Burial Goods is it kind of tells me that he doesn't have another line of play, unless like he was gonna Foolish Black Goat Laughs, because usually that's what they do, right? If they have no other lines of play, they'll Foolish if they have more lines of play, they'll Foolish Black Goat Laughs, and if they don't, they'll Foolish like their plays, because Black Goat Laughs can prevent Izuna, can prevent Holy Sue and all that stuff from happening, which is actually like that's why it's a really good card, right? It's an extender, a starter, as well as kind of like an anti like hand trap card. You'll see here I passed back. The main reason was that I drew Perulia, so now I have Perulia Fua. I do have Jokul in hand, so I could have like normal summoned Jokul, but then like doesn't actually do anything that like gets me Izuna. Right, it gets me like a hand trap in exchange for me turning off both my Moltrami, so I didn't think that was worth it at all. So here, he does have 3 sets too, which is scary. He draws return, he passes back to me. This is where I draw my Jokul. So I'm like, okay, now I actually have playable. There's no way I can play through his back rows, but I do at some point got to start putting in some work. So I go Jokul, reveal Jokul, and he actually Black Coat Slaps it, and I'm like, okay, that's actually not bad. Like I get to keep my cards in my hand. He still has to top deck and has to play through double Moltrami plus Nib. So I pass it back to him, and here he draw playables. He does draw a Foolish, the actual Foolish this time. So I'm like, okay, this will play, but it's on my Fulos, so hopefully he doesn't have Ash Blossom. So he's thinking. Although I'm pretty sure, yeah, there's just one obvious answer, which is the Tiger, or Silverhound, sorry. And then I Fua, he Ashes, and I'm like, okay. Now I have a Perulia to my name and a Nib. And my big issue with this Nib is that his like this guy loves drawing his Book of Eclipse. You know what I mean? And he's got probably some Book of Eclipse down there, and that can, like, in a fusion deck especially, dodge the Nib really well. So he has to check. I don't Perulia yet. I Perulia right here because if I like, I didn't Perulia before the Fua because I don't think he would Ash the Perulia. And I think that if I Perulia before he does anything, that could easily make him, like, not play into the Perulia. Like, he could easily play around it. Whereas here, I funneled him into, like, I let him funnel himself into a line where he'll give me at least one draw, which is what he did. Maybe he could have not even, like, done anything around that anyways. But I do like the way that I forced this. Like, if he had Ash, he was holding it for the Fua no matter what, so it doesn't matter. He normals the check. I get to draw. I draw Azuna. Now I know he has Black Goat, so he can just, like, turn off the Azuna. But I think I might as well just use the card, force him to Black Goat. Also, just see if he makes a mistake, and then hopefully, like, if I draw Holy Su and, like, some attributes, if he somehow gives me more draws, then turn that on. So he Black Goats Lupus, and I go. This is where he hit me with, like, not even disrespect, but it was funny. Like, I go to, like, give him my deck to shuffle. He's like, you won't need that. And I'm like, damn, okay. So I'm like, sure, like, we'll shuffle it up if needed. He summons Martin by bouncing the Leo, so now he has Leo in hand. And he overlays for the Fire King. I'm just gonna skip forward here. It's in German. I wanted to read it, so we got a translation. Just gonna skip forward a little bit. So yeah, so he gets Tenki. Tenki should get him to Sheep. This way he will get Poly. And then he activates the effect just to get the chick back in the graveyard. Because he just negates the guys on the field, but that doesn't really matter. He gets Poly, and then he activates the Tiger to reborn his guy. Which, again, the only thing I have, my only disruption here is Nib. So I'm thinking, like, I know his hand now is Poly plus Leo. The only card face down that would be annoying would be Impulse or Book of Eclipse for my Nib, and I'm pretty sure he didn't have Impulse in his deck. He'd make a deck profile, so I'd have to double check. But, like, I know this deck can play Impulse, but it wouldn't make sense that he play Impulse with, like, how few hand traps he played. Although I know Impulse can work as a board breaker, it's just not as strong. So here I'm thinking, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think there's any better spot to Nib. Just because, like, I just want to get the chick off the field, like, get rid of his guys. The only card would be annoying would be Eclipse, which is what he has, which just, like, makes the Nib fizzle, and then just allows him to fuse. If I had waited to Nib, I think it would have been worse anyway, so I think this was fine. From here, he has a very simple line to kill me in one turn. I, like, it's the finals of Worlds, so I don't scoop. I just, like, want to see if, like, somehow, some way I get another draw and I can be saved, although it's, like, never happening. But it's fine. He does it quickly anyways, so I wonder what that second set was. Maybe another Eclipse. So, yeah, he just does his thing, adds the Tiger. That's the Tiger, that's right. Tiger, and then now he just has, like, a lot of names, plus the the Leo Dancer, which is able to get him into the Liger Dancer and just kill me. That he banishes the chick so that I can't activate effects in the battle, which is whatever. I'm dead anyways. Kills my guys' attacks and game. So, like, yeah. So honestly, like, it was a good start for me with the shifter. However, I just didn't have enough playable cards. Like, I definitely could have won that game if I had more playable cards. But at least, like, the shifter 1-for-1 trade there was really important. That was, like, the most important part of that game specifically. Whereas I would have died, like, a whole turn, 2 turns earlier if I shifted in standby versus shifter in main phase with how weak my hand was. So sometimes it's really important for you guys, to, like, when you have those turn skip cards, evaluate, like, the strength of your hand and see if you even want to, use them earlier or later. So now, on to the next game. Game 3 of the finals. The tension is high. Like, oh my god, you guys don't understand. Right now, at this moment, there was nothing going on through my head. when I looked at my hand like for game 3, there was literally just like air in my head, and I was like trying to realize, I was trying to think of how to combo. I couldn't think. I was like, okay, put cards on the field, use their like, oh my god, it was so stressful. But anyways, so we start. I have 5 end cards going first. That's great. That's great. All we want to see is just, we don't want to see draw, because I know this guy plays draw, so we just don't want to see that. But my hand is broken. I try to play around Fua here, so I have like Holy Su, Fire Dark, and Stake Your Soul. So I go Summon Su, and then I go Stake Your Soul, Reveal. That way, in case he wants to chain Fua, I get an extra draw. The only annoying, like, I think it's correct to do this, just play around the Fua. The only annoying thing about this is that it kind of, because already, like I told you guys, it was literally like air going through my head. This makes me combo weird, because I now like, all my preconceived notion of how to combo just kind of go away, right? Like, I knew how to do the lines, and then I do a completely weird line that I've never done before, and it's the finals, and so I'm not thinking straight, and now I'm comboing weird. Now I'm comboing here. I summon Jiaolong, I activate Case. I just do things in a really weird order. Now I'm like, well, I'm just gonna get cards out of my deck and then draw a card, try to draw 900, like make my hand a little stronger. Normal summon Mad Love. I knew he wasn't playing Nib just from like how many board breakers he was playing and all this. Like, he's just keeps bluffing here, making me try to think that he has something. I also, funny thing, played around Joel and played around Fua at the same time by putting the border on the field. Like, if at any point he drilled me, which obviously by that time he didn't have anymore, I could just draw a card, which was not bad. So we add the second Fire to hand because we have Raisin already. But now we have Jiaolong. We can search the trap directly. This way we can turn, like I said, this is what I said for game 1, right? This way we can turn our bodies into like SP and stuff like that, and also turn it into like Ripper and like all that stuff. So here I make Ripper. I also do make it on summon 5, funny enough. So I did say like I knew he like didn't play Nib, but I didn't want to take any risk. I didn't want to be like, what if he played one Nib and no one ever saw it, right? And then all of a sudden I'm getting cooked. I had Lantern here, which also was a mistake. I should have added my second Joko, because the issue is I already went through Case, so I cannot get back to another Joko later with anything else, just for follow-up. So what I should have done here is actually add Joko, and then Joko add me the Lantern. That was free. So another small mistake. Like I'm saying, all these small mistakes, but they can easily add up, right? So we could Joko reveal the Jiaolong. And now, like, again, I have, like, so many bodies on my field. It's crazy, right? It's crazy. We should be doing good, but I had the Azuna, which obviously hasn't activated anything yet, but, like, Azuna can be good for his turn. And now, obviously, I'm shuffling so that, let me skip forward to when we're done with shuffling. I'm shuffling so I can draw with the border. Draw a card. We draw. Guy like me. Some light work. Now I drew the draw. Honestly, I feel a lot better about what's going on. I'm still full comboing, so, like, still should be hard for him to play through it. But the good thing about the full combo, and here like we talked and he was like, just summon the guy. I'm like, sure. So the good thing about the full combo is that I don't feel as bad about it. But I did forget one thing here, is I forgot that Stake Your Soul would bounce my border. And so I showed my hand earlier. It was like Lantern, Raisin, Lantern, Raisin, Trap, Izuna, draw obviously, but he doesn't know that one, and then like another card, but not a dark. That's what matters. There's no dark in my hand except for the Lantern, and I forgot that the border would get back to my hand. So I thought that I hella misplayed by adding the Lantern originally instead of the Joko, because then I wouldn't have an extra dark in hand. And so I'm like, damn, now I can't summon my Lantern, otherwise I don't have a dark in hand, and I'm gonna try to draw him, so I'm not gonna get a dark in hand. So I totally could have just like made SP like right here. You see this board? Lantern, Reborn, make SP. Get Case from follow-up. We don't need it, but we could have an SP on board. But I forgot that, and so that's why I didn't make it, because I was like, oh, this Borger's going to be on my field. I'm not going to have a dark in hand. But yeah, so long story short, I could have had a dark in hand. I do have a dark in hand because the Borger comes back. We get reminded here by the judges. They're like, Stake Your Soul resolves. We're like, oh, yep. So he gets bounced. And this right here, I feel stupid. This is the moment where I'm like, God damn it, I could have summoned my Lantern. But it's okay. You know, just like, okay, we are missing SP, which could be pretty big. Like against the Book of Eclipse, like that could be huge because SP it can't be its book face down. But I'm still like, okay, lock in. We have draw plus full board. My biggest thing here is that I want to have Droll now be the first monster effect to activate because I don't want to play into thrust talents, or talents or anything. When he activates this fool, I don't care at all. I'm like, sure, you're not drawing off this fool. I am drolling you. He activates Foolish, which I let go. And here, what does he dump? Yeah, he dumps the Yellow Martin. So I considered negating that, but I was thinking, I'm like, there's no way my first monster effect is going to be not Droll because I don't want to get played into talents and get my hand ripped and just lose the Droll forever. So I just let it go, thinking like, okay, my field is pretty strong. So he adds the Lunalight fusion, and then now I Droll. And you can see, just watch Tom to see how hard this Droll hits. Yeah, Joel's pretty good card. Yeah, he hit me with it in Swiss, and it hurt pretty bad for me too. So this card is pretty good here. His deck does like to add a lot, so I was happy to have Joel in my side deck at that moment. I was like, oh, this card's going in. The other thing is that like the Lunalight fusion can be scary because he could have a lot of cards in hand. So what I should have done on res here. I forgot what we're talking about here exactly, but what I should have done on res before he could activate this is just upgrade my Ripper into the Werewolf. That way, bang, he activates fusion. I can look in his hand and I don't have to gamble. Here, when he activates this card, I'm like, there's just no way he has like three names in hand. So I took a little gamble, right? Otherwise, what you're supposed to do here is just activate the trap and blow up your own board because through draw he should never be able to kill me anyways. But I was like, there's no way I'm outing my own board, right? So I should have upgraded to the Werewolf prior to this just to look at his hand and make sure that he doesn't have the exact number of names that he needs. But also, I was okay here with him making a Liger Dancer because I was like, I can actually play through a Liger Dancer. I have so many disruptions that he can't out my Vanquishal disruption still with a Liger Dancer. I could just summon them whenever I want. They can't be destroyed by card effects. So as long as like I can stop everything else from happening and keep my start on the field, I could actually out a Liger Dancer on my turn. I have 2 outs, one of which is Werewolf, so that with Case Boost, obviously that would be out of the question. The other one is Caesar plus Vanquish Soul Rocks, the XYZ with a fire under it, which would just boost it to become 4,000 attack. So I did have outs to it, and I wasn't like super worried, but I also was like not trying to just play into it too hard and just like out my own board just for fun. So here he activates the Lunalight fusion and he fuses away the Emerald Bird and the Silverhound. Activating both, I decide, I'm like, well, I want to upgrade to the Werewolf as early as possible. Again, like that's just like a big thing you want to do. So I'm just going to negate the Emerald Bird. Like I know it doesn't do anything, but I'm going to negate the Emerald Bird. That way on like his next body or whatever, I can upgrade to Werewolf. As well as I know that if I keep, as long as I keep the fusion out of his grave, his Silverhound can't negate. But for now, Silverhound can negate. And here when he summons Tiger, actually, I realized that I can, like, whenever I know that if I pop Tiger, he gets to reborn a guy. But he's so behind that actually doesn't matter as much. Whereas him triggering the Tiger just will allow me to look at the hand. He can't play around it at all. So he activates the Dancer to like bounce it to hand so that he can place it in his pan zone, and I'm like sure, or actually no, sorry, I negate that because I want to rip his hand. Again, I just want to like put him on as few cards as possible. So 3, we hit the Heavy Poly, which again I think that like him using Heavy Poly would just like hurt him because he would get to 2 low life points anyways. I think that's why he didn't use it. And so we are now here like. He has 2 cards left in hand, like he has 2 cards left in hand. I just pop that guy because he activates Yellow Martin. So now I make him like fizzle his Yellow Martin. And if he wants to activate the effect, he has 2 cards left in hand. I get to just look at his hand, put him down to 1 card. I see Thrust, and I'm like, okay, well Thrust is dead, so let's get rid of that one because that's a reborn. And now this moment, like he hasn't scooped yet, but I know I won, which is like just so great. I still have all my disruptions. He has 2 monsters on his field. I could either like trap pop everything or I could just Holy Suit and he scoops and oh my god, insane. So yeah, so that was our review of the finals. Overall, I made like a medium-sized misplay, I want to say, in the final game, just like not using Lantern because I forgot that Stake was gonna bounce my border. But it was okay. Like I still had a lot of disruptions. I just missed out on like 1 SP. but in the end, it was okay. And yeah, so thanks for tuning in, guys. That was the last episode of the series. Let me know what you want to see next. Like, I can do all kinds of content about Worlds, not about Worlds. If there's anything about the new cards that you guys want to see from Doom of Dimensions, let me know. And Friday, September 12th, the Masterclass is dropping. Please make sure to go check that out.